Bro. Floyd Mayweather Sr., the man who taught his son everything. The shoulder roll, the defensive system, the ring IQ that made Floyd untouchable for 21 years, just broke down outside his own gym and told reporters he is too ashamed of his son. Too ashamed. He does not even recognize him anymore. But that is not even the most shocking part. Stay with me because what is happening behind closed doors between these two men is so much darker than anything that has come out publicly. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand why people close to this situation are saying the walls are closing from every single direction at once. Alright, let us set the scene because context is everything here. Floyd Mayweather Jr. earned an estimated $1.2 billion across his professional boxing career. His fight against Pacquiao in 2015 generated over $400 million in pay-per-view revenue, and Floyd personally pocketed $250 million from that single night. One night, $250 million. Forbes listed him as the highest-paid athlete on the planet multiple years running. He was not just rich, he was in a category almost no athlete in human history has ever reached. And now, in 2026, the IRS is chasing him for $38 million in back taxes, with compounding penalties adding $200,000 to that total every single month. His exhibition business has collapsed. His properties are foreclosing. A private equity lender is threatening to seize his Las Vegas mansion before summer. Netflix is preparing a lawsuit that could exceed $200 million in damages. And his own father is outside his gym telling reporters he is too ashamed to look at his son. This is not a rumor. This is all on public record, and the boxing world is completely done pretending this is anything other than what it is. Let us start with Floyd Sr., because this is where the story hits different from everything else that has come out. Gym insiders revealed that Sr. had been avoiding his own facility for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Specifically to dodge questions from reporters and people in the gym about his son's Netflix situation. Think about that. A man who has trained fighters his entire life, whose gym is his entire world, was staying away from it for 3 weeks because he could not face the questions. And then one day he gets cornered outside after a private training session and the pain finally spills out. He told reporters he is too ashamed of his son. He said, "This is not the son I raised. This is someone I do not even recognize anymore." One witness described Floyd Sr. as broken during the exchange. They said he kept repeating the phrase, "worse than any loss," under his breath before cutting the conversation short and walking away. That phrase, "worse than any loss," from the man who coached Floyd to 50 wins and 0 defeats. Let that land for a second. And then the detail that nobody reported properly. 2 weeks before that public breakdown, Floyd Sr. arrived at the gym unannounced and demanded a closed-door meeting with anyone who had Floyd Jr.'s contact information. Behind those closed doors, he was making phone calls to his son. Calls that went straight to voicemail every single time. Witnesses heard him leave messages saying, "You are destroying everything we built. Call me back before you destroy yourself." Sources close to both camps confirmed that neither man has spoken directly since the Netflix controversy erupted. Floyd Jr. is not picking up his father's calls. The boxing world's reaction to everything happening with Floyd right now has been absolutely savage, and no one is softening their words. Robert Garcia, one of the most respected trainers in the sport, was offered $150,000 to train Floyd for the Pacquiao rematch. He turned it down. His reason was simple, and it hit harder than anything else. He said he does not trust Floyd to honor financial commitments anymore. When established trainers are turning down 6-figure contracts specifically because of your reputation for not paying people, the brand has not just taken a hit, it has collapsed completely. Adrian Broner, a man who has known Floyd for years and genuinely likes him, had a planned exhibition with Floyd scheduled for later this year. He pulled out. He told his team directly he is not ending up like Netflix and Pacquiao. No cap when someone who has publicly defended Floyd and called him a cool dude decides the financial risk is too great to be associated with him. That tells you everything about how far the reputation has fallen. Oscar De La Hoya went nuclear during a Golden Boy Promotions meeting and told his staff that Floyd Mayweather Sr. taught him everything about the shoulder roll. And watching Floyd Jr. destroy that legacy for a few million he already spent is the saddest thing he has ever seen in boxing. That is a devastating line from someone who has had his own bitter history with Floyd. Joe Rogan broke down the full financial math on his podcast and drew 8.3 million views in 48 hours. 38 million to the IRS, millions to jewelers, 1.5 million to Logan Paul, hundreds of thousands in unpaid rent, and now potentially $300 million to Netflix and Pacquiao. His conclusion was simple: the man is drowning. Stephen A. Smith revealed on First Take that he personally reached out to Floyd's camp for comment and was told Floyd does not recognize this as a breach because he never intended to fight Pacquiao as a professional fight, regardless of what he signed. Bro, read that back. He never intended to honor the contract regardless of what he signed. That is not a contract dispute anymore. That is a confession. Here is where it gets crazy. Because a former federal prosecutor named Angela Chen went on record with Boxing Scene and said the moment Floyd told reporters on camera this is not actually a fight, it is an exhibition, after signing contracts stating the opposite and accepting money based on those terms, he handed prosecutors everything they need for a fraud case. She called his public statements at Caesar's Palace an evidentiary gold mine. The man built his own criminal case in a shopping center. And stay with me, because the total legal exposure here is genuinely staggering. The Pacquiao contract penalties alone are in the 8 to 9 figure range. Netflix can separately pursue damages for reputational harm, with estimates placing their independent claim between $50 million and $200 million based on subscriber disappointment and promotional costs already spent. The Sphere venue can sue for promotional damages and lost ticket sales, potentially another $20 to $40 million on top of that. 3 separate parties pursuing maximum legal remedies means Floyd could face combined penalties exceeding $400 million.
Mayweather carried this monopoly money around on him at all times. He counted on the plane, he counted in the bed, he counted on another plane. He gonna keep this monopoly money on him at all times. But when it comes down to paying his taxes, he gonna hold on to it as long as he can, or at the very least, zip it up so the IRS can't get hold to it. Allegedly, of course. You think Mayweather Money, whatever his name is, will have a CPA or an accounting person on staff to help him pay his fucking debt? $7.3 million is insane. They have filed a $7.3 million lien against him for unpaid taxes for 2018 through 2023. Boy, them Trumpers ain't worth a damn, I tell you.
A great president, actually he's the best president in my eyes. He's the best president we ever had. We had Trump before, we didn't appreciate him, but I think Trump is...
But y'all know, Money Mayweather always in the middle of some fuck shit. He's suing Showtime for $340 million. He probably need that money to help him pay his debt. This is some ghetto shit. And then, his homeboy Jonah down here, who was a co-defendant in some lawsuits against Mayweather, he going to jail. These some ghetto ass motherfuckers. You would think the man with the dead hand would help his homeboy. But as I tell y'all, you got to have money to get help from the man with the dead hand, allegedly, of course. Every time I see this man with this money or see his picture, I always think of Josie Harris. Such a sad situation. Rest in peace, Josie.
And then there is the detail that nobody is talking about enough. Sources inside Netflix's legal department revealed the company is not just preparing a financial lawsuit, they are preparing an injunction that would legally prevent Floyd from fighting anyone at all until he either honors the Pacquiao contract or settles for massive damages. Not Pacquiao, not Zambitis in Greece, not any exhibition anywhere in the world, nothing. Floyd could end up legally banned from fighting until this is resolved. Now here is where the private equity loan becomes a trap. The loan Floyd took against his Pacquiao purse did not come from a bank. It came from a private equity group specializing in high-risk sports financing at 15 to 20% monthly interest with full collateral seizure clauses if the fight falls through. If Floyd walks away, the lender can legally seize his Las Vegas mansion, his vehicles, and his remaining liquid assets immediately, before summer. Floyd thought he was gaming the system. Instead, he built a trap around himself. Fight Pacquiao and risk the zero. Do not fight and lose the mansion before September ever arrives. And the exhibition business that was supposed to be his safety net has completely collapsed. The Mike Tyson fight postponed indefinitely. The Greece exhibition generating zero sponsor interest. European broadcasters pulling out entirely. A boxing financial analyst told ESPN that Floyd's exhibition value dropped 70% overnight when Netflix exposed him as a contract risk. Nobody wants to invest millions in a fighter who might take deposits and ghost them. That one sentence is the most damaging thing said about Floyd's business reputation in his entire career. Floyd has 2 options left. Honor the contract, step into the sphere on September 19th, and risk the only thing he has left, which is the zero. Or walk away and face $400 million in combined legal damages, asset seizure, and a Netflix injunction that ends his ability to fight anyone ever again. The man who once said the only person he can trust is the one looking back at him in the mirror is now not even picking up calls from his father. Drop in the comments, does Floyd fight Pacquiao in September, or does this end in a courtroom? Subscribe if you are new. See you in the next one.